know that a username field will have a label just before that to say that this particular text field is going to be a username field. You know that, but you have to make the tool to understand that. So definitely we need to use these locators to find an element and to get the web element identified. Hi, so far we have learnt about how to work on the browser as such. The browser which is going to be the base for your web application testing. Now we will learn how to interact with elements that we have, the objects that we have for text wheel, buttons, links, drop downs, and other objects like images, the grid tables, and all this are collectively called as web elements. In Selenium, all of these are called as web elements. And to start with, these elements are located in such a way that the browser identifies them from top to bottom, left to right, top to bottom, left to right. That is how your elements are being identified. When you find a username in multiple places, if you try to go and interact with a username text field, then it will find the first occurrence on the page from top to bottom and left to right. That is how it identifies. And again you have 7 different locators which are used to locate elements. The first one is ID, which is an ID attribute which is going to be unique across the application. That is how HTML standards are designed. If the HTML ID is not unique across the application, you can go and ask the developer to give it as unique. It is like your employee ID, which cannot be duplicated. And then comes your name, which is an attribute given for a reference on a field, which is given for reference of a field. And the third one is class name, the class attribute which is given for grouping of elements. If it is related to login, then all the login related elements will be having a class name attribute which specifies that these are going to be a group. And then comes your tag name. The tag of HTML is used to identify the particular element. We use this mostly to get the collection, the group of rows in a table or the columns in a table. You get them and you can work on them. And next comes your linkText. Linktext are considered to be the special elements where you don't need to go and inspect the element. If you can just copy the text on the link and use it, you can easily identify the elements. Here linkText is the text between the two nodes of an anchor tag. The tag A will be used for links. In between the opening node and the closing node, the text you have will be your link text. And then comes your cssSelector, where you use cascading style sheet properties for identifying the elements. And the last but the most important locator, it is xpath, which refers to XML path. And here we use the HTML locations or the address to get into a particular element, to locate a particular element. We'll discuss about these things again in detail, but this is to give a brief on how locators work. And using these locators, you can locate a particular element. You know that a username field will have a label just before that to say that this particular text field is going to be a username field. You know that, but you have to make the tool to understand that. So definitely we need to use these locators to find an element and to get the web element identified. We have find element method on driver, which is going to be helping you to get to the particular element. There again you need to use the object of a by class. By is an abstract class which is used to define that, and you have different methods for all these locators what we have discussed: id, name, class name, and all those stuff. You have methods defined. Thank you.